My name is Igor Zlateski and I'm the General Manager of Spraying Systems, Australia, New Zealand and the Oceania region. I've been employed at Spraying Systems since 2000, which is 15 years this year. The company has been operating since the 50s in Australia. The original owner set up the Spraying Systems company in 1937 in Illinois, Chicago. The company is based in Wheaton, Illinois, United States of America as the headquarters, with regional offices just about every country of the world, and also there are 12 manufacturing sites globally that produce a number of different products for industries that we serve. Spraying System has been involved in the mining industry since the 50s, since we set up operations in Australia through an agency. Then in 1995, Spraying Systems became a subsidiary of its parent company, Spraying Systems, and we have enhanced our services and products further in the mining industry.
Yeah, absolutely. We can come to your site free of charge and do a complete audit of the site. Then we'll go off and do a report outlining all your issues and then, of course, a solution.
Yes, I can definitely help you. When you're looking at dust suppression on a mine site, you've got to look at the whole site as a whole, not just part of an area, because if you start looking at part of an area, you're not going to get a complete result. So you've got to look at the whole site and work out where you're going to have dust prevention sprays and dust suppression sprays. And if you look at it at that kind of point of view, you'll get a lot better result than just looking at one area. When it comes to nozzle wear, it depends on the mine site itself, because it factors in the quality of the water they're using and also the hardness of water. So generally, what I usually say with the customers, if you're running it 24/7, you should be replacing nozzles at least every 3 or 4 months. So, and it depends on what the application is. If it's, as I said, with the dirtier water, it's going to definitely wear the nozzles quicker. So you should basically look at your nozzles and inspect them, and by that inspection, you should replace them. So.
We supply more than just nozzles. We do supply strainers. We've got to filter the nozzles, which actually protect the nozzles. We supply spray bars, standard spray bars, but then we also supply spray bars with brush headers in there. For some customers, there are hard to reach places with nozzles, so brush headers, they have wheels which have brushes inside, and you can actually clean the nozzle so it'll unblock them. But also spray guns, and and we got automated systems as well.
We certainly supply more than nozzles. Nozzles are our base core project, but we also supply anything from a nozzle to a spray bar to a valve assembly to the control system. So basically we can give you either just a nozzle, or we can do a complete solution for you with the engineering design.
Okay, the types of nozzles we use in the mining industry, and specifically a whirljet nozzle, is one of the most common types used in the mining industry for dust suppression. The reason it is used is because the maximum free passage through a whirljet is much larger than any other type of nozzle on the market. So we use that design frequently with dust suppression. Plus also the nozzle itself produces a relatively fine drop, which is ideal for dust suppression.
The beauty about the whirljet is it's hollow cone, where it'll trap the dust within the hollow part of the pattern, where you won't get any mud. And as soon as dust particles try to escape that hollow cone, it'll be hit by the perimeter of it and it'll drop straight down. So that's the beauty about whirljets. Whirljets are actually almost a popular nozzle in mines. V-jets are great for adding moisture to conveyors that actually prevent dust from being airborne further down the line. So they play an important part and actually don't provide or don't supply the nozzle at the end to do all the work. So dust prevention is just as important as dust suppression.
Well, the V-jet's a fairly standard nozzle, but it's a flat spray pattern. comes in brass or stainless. It's typically used for applications where you need to wet product, be it coal on top of a conveyor or underneath the conveyor. Full jet is a full cone, round full cone spray. It has various orifice sizes, probably not the best nozzle to use if you've got dirty water. But again, it's more of a wetting application.
The full jet, this produces a full cone nozzle spray. Generally you'll use it more as a dust prevention alternative, so you're basically going to cover everything in the range of that spray, which is usually around an average about 60 degrees. Hydraulic nozzle, these are finer nozzles. They're used for lower pressure. Generally in the mining industry we don't use them because of the small orifice size they have. They block quite easy, so unless you've got very, very clean water, usually you stay away from these, but if you've got low pressure and clean water, they're a very good solution for fine spray droplets.
Fogging nozzles, they're hydraulic atomizers where we don't use air. They're the LNN and M style nozzles, so they're a really fine droplet size, used for misting and fogging for dust suppression and control.
Fogging nozzles are a nozzle which exhibit a fine fog, or as we may put it, a fine droplet size for many different applications.
Air atomizing, there are very fine droplets of dust that hydraulic nozzles you just can't use, and with air breaks liquid up. Hence you can get very small droplets, and yeah, air atomizing is commonly used for many applications. Air atomizing breaks a liquid up that has smaller droplets, which then will suppress the dust that is finer droplet size as well. And that's where we have to use air atomizing, because bigger droplets just won't do it. So we have to, we have to match the dust particle size to the droplet. It's very fine, then air atomizing will do that.
Air atomizing is great for the mining industry. They produce a very fine spray. They use a little amount of water, and because of the air you can get quite a reasonable throw in it, and these are used for areas that have got high moisture content. They don't want to add any more water, and they can control dust very well. Generally, when it comes to middle amounts of water, you've got to stick with the air atomizers. If you start looking at fine hydraulic sprays, because of the small orifices, they generally block up. So if you go air atomizers, you can control the output to very small amounts of litres per minute, rather than several litres a minute with a hydraulic option.
The guys on site do have to check them occasionally. But we do supply a service to go there and do audits, and but also to clean nozzles, filters that attach to them.
The best way to maintain the integrity of nozzles is to physically check the spray angles and the spray condition coming from the nozzle, because there is a lot of wear in spray nozzles that occurs.
To make sure that our spray nozzles are keeping up to their peak performance, it's ideal for us to get spraying systems to come and do a spray audit. That way we can come in visually and analyse what spray setups you've got to see if they're actually worn or need replacing or need a different nozzle type. So we provide this as a free service. We go out, evaluate the site, then we provide you with a written report outlining what changes need to be done and which nozzles to replace.